Recap in minutes. Today we will be going through an adventure movie from 2011 called Captain America, the First Avenger. There will be spoilers ahead in this video, so chill out and enjoy. In the beginning, a man is shown running to a church in Tønsberg, a town in Norway. It is the year 1942 and German forces have attacked Norway. He reaches an old man and informs him that the special Nazi forces, Hydra, are coming for them. Meanwhile, a Hydra tank destroys the entrance of their hideout. A German commander named Johann Schmidt comes to the old man and asks him about the mysterious cosmic artifact. The old man replies that he does not know anything about the Tesseract. Schmidt moves forward to the mummy box and snatches a glass artifact from the corpse's hands. After inspecting it, he breaks it, saying that the Tesseract is the treasure of Odin and can never be buried. He approaches the old man and shows him the tank, threatening to destroy the village if he cannot find the Tesseract. Suddenly, he sees a wooden door with a tree carved on it. He eventually finds it and presses the snake's eye, which ejects a box containing the original Tesseract. He praises its power when he opens the box, and then kills the old man who was guarding the artifact. In the next scene, some men are being recruited at the Army Center of New York and Brooklyn. A young boy named Stephen Rogers comes forward in the line at his turn. The recruiter rejects him, saying that he is weak and has asthma along with various complications. After being rejected, he goes to a cinema to see a war movie. He becomes emotional for the army when a man bullies the soldiers at the start. He takes Steve outside of the hall and starts beating him. Suddenly his friend, James Bucky Barnes, comes there and rescues him. Eventually, he takes him to a war fair in the city. Steve leaves them at the exhibition and goes to the war gallery. His friend comes there looking for him and advises him to find another job and stop trying to join the military. Steve becomes tense and says that there are men laying down their lives, and he has no right to do any less than them. Unbeknownst to them, a doctor named Dr. Abraham Erskine listens to their conversation. He becomes impressed by Steve's courage and selflessness. Bucky wishes him good luck on his intention to forge his application this time, and leaves. The next moment, Steve goes to another physical examination center for his attempt to get selected in the military. He becomes upset when a military policeman enters and sees him, but relaxes when Dr. Abraham enters and asks the policeman to leave. Dr. Abraham puts all of his application records on the table and asks him if he wants to kill some Nazis. He tells him that he does not want to kill anyone, he just wants to stop the bullies on the soldiers. This impresses Dr. Abraham, and he offers Steve a chance to go to war. In the next scene, Steve is seen receiving training in the camp of Supersoldiers under the Strategic Scientific Reserve. This camp is supervised by Dr. Abraham, Colonel Chester, and Agent Peggy Carter. Colonel Chester becomes unconvinced by Dr. Abraham's advice to choose Steve for their project. Meanwhile, as the colonel was arguing with the doctor, he threw a dummy grenade at their formation. Steve lay on the grenade while the others ran for their lives. The colonel was also impressed when he observed Steve's courage to sacrifice himself for the nation. At night, Dr. Abraham came to him and talked about his hometown in Germany. He told him that the war had cost his family, home, and country. He briefed him on the special project of Supersoldiers and its procedure. He told him that he had been chosen for the procedure. He also warned him that a Hydra soldier, Schmidt, had undergone an imperfect procedure because of his hidden ambitions for occult power and Teutonic myth. He told him that he had suffered negative side effects because of his psychological temptation to become a powerful man. Now he told him why he had chosen him for the project. He expressed that a strong man who had known power all of his life may lose respect for the power. But a weak man like him knew the value of power. In the next scene, Schmidt showed Dr. Zola the recent photographs of Dr. Abraham. He ordered him to send an assassin mission to kill Dr. Abraham in the USA. The next moment, Steve and Agent Peggy entered an antique shop in Brooklyn, where the assassin spied on them. Agent Peggy exchanged the passcode with the old lady, who let them into a secret military scientific laboratory concealed within the shop. Peggy led Steve to Dr. Abraham, who then ordered them to prepare the procedure on the man. Dr. Abraham told him that he would have to endure the pain to become a super soldier. He promised him that he would come out stronger after the procedure. Dr. Abraham's serum was then injected into Steve's muscles, and they closed him into the Vita Ray capsule. Steve yelled in pain when the light glowed in the capsule, but he also told them to continue the procedure. When the procedure was completed, Steve came out taller and stronger, impressing everyone in the gallery. After the success of the procedure, everyone congratulated Dr. Abraham for his perfect formula of the serum. Suddenly, one of the attendees revealed himself to be Schmidt's assassin and killed Dr. Abraham. Steve ran after the assassin barefoot with his new unbelievable strength. Despite trying to escape in a submarine capsule, he eventually captured him. He pulled him out of the water, but the vial of the serum got broken in the action. The assassin committed suicide with the cyanide pill in his mouth. After some time, Steve is seen in the laboratory with Colonel Chester and Engineer Stark. He tells them that he is the best mechanical engineer in the country, but he does not know what is inside that submarine capsule. Agent Peggy arrives and tells them that it is the work of Hydra forces, who are led by Johann Schmidt. Steve asks them to order him to go kill Schmidt, but the colonel forbids him, saying that he is needed here for further experiments to rediscover Abraham's formula. The senator approaches Steve and offers him a tour of the nation to sell war bonds using his heroic image. During this time, he works on stage and performs scripted shows as Captain America. Soon, when Steve visits the soldiers on the Italian war front, he meets Agent Peggy and tells her that he is tired of parading around, while not being able to fight in the war directly. Meanwhile, she tells him that Bucky Barnes' unit lost the battle against Hydra. He runs to the colonel and asks him to show him the list of casualties. He refuses, saying that he is not authorized for this work, but he informs him that his friend has most likely died in the action. In the next scene, Agent Peggy and Engineer Stark help arrange a plane, and they fly over the battlefield in Austria. Suddenly, the Nazis' anti-aircraft guns start firing on their plane. Steve takes his gear and jumps from the plane. After some time, he kills many Hydra guards in the forest and sneaks into their base. Eventually, he gets into the laboratory room and frees many American soldiers. Steve then makes his way to the isolation ward and sees Bucky tied to an operating table. He frees him and takes him outside of the facility. Meanwhile, freed soldiers fought their best with the Hydra soldiers and caught the attention of Schmidt. He rings the warning signal and alerts all of his forces to counter them. He also sets the factory to self-destruct and evacuate to another facility. Soon, the building begins to blow, and Steve and Schmidt come face to face with each other. Schmidt expresses to him that he is superior to him and reveals his true face to him. He shows his red skull face and tells him that he is not equal to him. Schmidt then escapes the exploding facility, leaving all of them behind to die. However, Bucky and Steve manage to escape from the building. In the next scene, Agent Peggy and the Colonel are worried about Steve, and they believe that he is dead. Suddenly, the Colonel sees troops running toward the forest. He comes out of his camp and is surprised to see Steve and Bucky at the front, along with other soldiers who were captured in Austria. The Colonel appreciates him for liberating the soldiers, and all of them cheer for Captain America. After that, the Colonel allows him to form his team to take down the Hydra forces. The Colonel then shows him the map with the marked locations of Hydra base camps, and tells him that he and his team have to go to those bases and destroy them one by one. The next moment, Engineer Howard shows him his new advanced equipment and custom-designed uniform. He also gives him a new shield made of a metal called vibranium. After some time, he and his Howling Commandos eliminate many Hydra soldiers and their bases in Europe. After some time, Captain America and his soldiers are seen on some frozen hills. They are ordered to capture Dr. Zola of Schmidt. They confirm their intel that Zola is traveling on a train. Steve and Bucky use the zip line, land on the train, and engage with the soldiers. A Hydra metal man appears from the other cabin, and his shot causes a hole in the train. They fight them, and eventually, Bucky falls from the train into the icy river. While a soldier captures Zola, they complete the mission successfully. Meanwhile, Schmidt plans to take over the world by using his weapons of mass destruction. He addresses his Hydra men to kill everyone who comes in their way. On the other hand, the Colonel extracts the desired information and orders Steve to go to Schmidt's hideout and eliminate him. The next moment, Steve and his team get on bikes and ride through the forest to his establishment. He reaches there, blows up their tank, and kills many Hydra soldiers without much trouble. Suddenly, Hydra soldiers surround him and take him to the Red Skull's office. The Red Skull asks him what makes him so special. He replies that he is nothing but a kid from Brooklyn. In the midst of their talks, Steve's team members raid Red Skull's office and open fire. Meanwhile, outside in the forest, Agent Peggy and the US Army attack the Hydra base. Seeing this, the Red Skull flees from the office and gets into his specially designed wing plane named Valkyrie. As it begins to take off, Steve runs after the plane but stops when he realizes he can't catch it. He sees Colonel and Agent Peggy approaching in Red Skull's fast car. They pick him up and drive him closer to the plane. Somehow, he manages to board it successfully. He sneaks into the plane and finds dozens of missiles. He is shocked to see the names of major US cities on the missiles. A number of Hydra soldiers attack him in the plane, and while he kills them, one soldier kicks him at the shuttle and opens it to the sky. Steve takes control of the shuttle and flies back to the aircraft. He crashes back into the aircraft and reaches the cockpit. The two superhumans engage in an intense fight, and Red Skull fires his Tesseract-powered shots at Steve, but he easily deflects them using his vibranium shield. Suddenly, a shot is deflected in the center of the cockpit, which holds the Tesseract. Schmidt gets desperate and holds the cube in his hand, which starts to burn him. The next moment, the cube opens a beam hole into space and sucks him inside it. The Tesseract falls to the floor, burning through the plane and plunging into the ocean. Steve takes the pilot's seat and decides to deal with the bombs. He plans to crash the plane and informs Agent Peggy of his decision over the radio. She gets upset with him for leaving her behind, but he crashes the plane into the Arctic. In the next scene, Steve wakes up mysteriously in a recovery room in a New York City hospital. He suspects the nurse and asks her where he is. Suddenly, 2 soldiers enter his room, and he throws them out before running away. When he reaches the road, he is shocked by what he sees because he was expecting to be in the 1940s. The movie ends when an eye-patched agent named Fury and his men surround him. Fury informs him that he has been asleep for almost 70 years. Steve helplessly accepts reality after realizing the changes in his environment. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to Recap in Minutes for more videos like this to help the channel grow.